Okay, here we go again. I feel like it's just like a video is required almost every day. But I'm not doing that. We're not there yet. I wanted to do this because I think I'm noticing with the healing practice that I do now, I'm in my healing outfit, realizing that essentially everyone is feeling really, really anxious right now. And I wanted to offer some advice and tips and guidance on some of the things that I've been trying to put into practice to sort of just keep my feet on the ground because I think it's really important. The first step is admitting that we're sick. And that's really important here. We are at this point in humanity where we are seeing the effects of manifesting great chaos. We have been completely disconnected from the natural world for a very long time. And essentially, I feel that what we're experiencing now with the amount of unrest in the world, the amount of atrocities happening, and to get through this without crying. The cat's here as well. He's behind me. Um, but getting to the point where we accept that there's an atrocity every day is not something I want to get to. I don't want to accept that. I don't want to accept that every time I check my phone, there are people dying at the hands of other people. I think it's time we admit that that's a side effect of the faithlessness and greed and corruption and, quite frankly, disconnection that we have all been a part of. I'm guilty of it. You're guilty of it. We're all guilty of it. I think we've all been living out of balance for a long time. I'm speaking in broad terms here because I think that it's the royal we. There's a lot of people who have not been out of sync this whole time, and kudos to them, great job. But a lot of people on the planet, I think, are caught up in their own trauma, and there've been a lot of generations of trauma now, and we don't ever really fix anything. We push things under the rug, we move forward, we act like nothing ever happened. And this is the same in both our personal lives and it's the same in our political and government systems, where we're in a situation where we have, again, and I've said this before, we've been asleep at the wheel. And now we're wondering why we're about to hit the wall. And we're about to hit the wall because none of us were paying attention. I think we all got caught up in a lot of things that weren't really important. And I say this from my experience, that the more successful I became in the world and the more I was able to achieve, the less happy I felt because I was so disconnected from the whole reason I was here. And obviously that's sort of that's my background story. That's my healing story. But that's, for me, exactly why I'm doing this right now. Which is, if this can come from me, who, quite frankly, a lot of people don't like me. There's a lot of people who think I'm an incredible asshole. And I was an incredible asshole for a long time. And I think, hopefully the more that I've talked about my background, and by no means is it an excuse for some of the things that I've done and some of the ways that I behaved in my life, but I think we all have to accept at some point that we know how to work with the tools that we're given. And, I grew up in a situation of abuse and manipulation. And in instances in my life, I employed those tactics because those were the tools that I learned. And those were the things that I learned to keep me safe. And I share those things, and I know some people find it excruciating that I talk so openly about this stuff, but I do it because ideally I would like to help people prevent going through that. It's excruciating to go through it and to not know why you're doing it and to have your life imploding in front of you. I feel like if there's anything I can do as someone who's had my life implode and explode many times, and I'm still here and I always kept getting up, even though I wasn't sure why sometimes, now I know why. And just like many of you, I have had a horrendous start to the year. It's been absolutely horrible on the personal side, on a business side. It's been awful. It's been challenging. It's been frustrating. And I don't think that's an accident. I think that these things are all happening because it's almost like I keep using the analogy of it's almost like the whole universe is shaking one of those archaeological trays and we're kind of just seeing what artifacts come out. And I think that that's almost a good analogy for what's going on right now on this planet, where people are kind of going, who am I and what is important here? And really like stripping a lot of stuff away. And I think it's really important that we talk about that. And I posted today about how it's hard to kind of just be status quo in your day. With the atrocities in the world happening right now. I mean, it's hard to keep up with the amount of chaos that's going on the planet. And yet everyone's kind of business as usual. I'm going to, get my coffee. And listen, there's nothing wrong with that. But I think what's important is that we talk. We have to talk about this. We can't pretend that this isn't going on. I think that's part of how we got here. Is we got here and we are all so fragmented and disconnected and all we want is connection and love and acceptance, yet we can't even slow down enough to be able to actually do it. And that's part of what I wanted to talk about today is obviously there's all these things going on and things are spinning out of control, and that's not an accident. I think it's important that we all realize that this is going to be a transitional period. This is not something that is going to get solved overnight. It didn't happen overnight. It's going to take some time to unwind it, but I think it's really, really, really important that everyone realize that we all have a hand in being able to turn this ship around. And this is a huge ship. The way that we've been running the planet as human beings for the last 20, 30, 40, 50 years, arguably, has been really bad. It's been bad management. So just like in business, it takes some time to undo that. And we all have a role in being able to change the way we operate daily. And I think some people are finding it really challenging because it feels too big. And maybe it's the executive producer in me. I'm never scared of the scope in my life. But for me, it's the prospect of everything, 10,000 feet, yeah, of course it's overwhelming. But when you take your intention in your daily life, which is really all you can control, like, let's be honest, you have control of your own intention and that is it. That's it. Nothing else, right? So if you're controlling your intention on a daily basis and going, I'm going to just vibrate at my highest throughout the day and I'm going to be who I am in the world and show up and be honest about the fact that, like, wow, I'm not sleeping because I'm worried about what's going to happen next, that's okay. Asking people how they are and having them say fine is how we got here. It's okay to not be fine. I don't think any of us are fine. If you're fine right now, it either means that you are a Zen master, which is great, and kudos to you. I'm walking the practitioner path now, and I'm finding it to be challenging to be fine all the time. I'm not fine. It's really hard. But the things that I've been doing to ground myself and the things that I've been trying to do, which are helping make me feel inner peace and feel more fine and feel the ability to actually like do this and sit in front of you and make a video, which, not my favorite thing to do in the world, but I'm doing it, for you. Remember that. This is for you. So for jokes aside, the things that I've been doing to really just stay energized, I'm talking about this. I'm being honest about the fact that it's terrible and it's scary and I'm worried, but I'm still really hopeful. I really do think that if we all grab the wheel and all do what we can every day to just do our little life and shift our intention, this will turn around. I truly believe that. We're already seeing it. And that anxiety and anxiousness you're feeling, that's the global human connectivity. You're like tapping into the human internet. So those moods and that anxiety, that's humanity. And we have the capacity to vibrate together just like all of the natural world does. And we're getting used to it. And I think you are probably feeling when something good happens or when one of these, horrible things that 45 is doing get blocked, you feel that sense of like, yeah. And like, you feel like you're a part of a team. That's it. You're tapping into the global consciousness. And I think the thing is, when we felt that before, it's for a very short period of time. So for example, like after 9/11, that was a rough couple of days, but it sort of, wrapped up and we all kind of went on with our lives for the most part in North America. Most people did anyway. And things shifted back to sort of status quo. And I think what everybody's feeling right now is that that's not happening. And that's not happening because the status quo wasn't working. It was terrible. It's not working at all. And it's the same with what's going on with the weather. I mean, the universe, Earth, God, whatever you want to call it, is just reminding us who's in charge. And it's really not us. And we're so out of sync that, again, it's that sort of like the archaeological tray where it's like, what's going to come out and rise to the surface here? And I think we all know, who we are as human beings and what we are capable of and how we can help each other and what it feels like to do that. And we need to grab the reins here. Like, I'm not going to let these people run the show. Why should they? Just because, like, we elected them? I don't think so. That should change. So, things to do to stay motivated. I'm starting the day with a dance, guys. I'm listening to the Wu-Tang Clan. I'm listening to whatever I need to listen to kind of get pumped up and start the day. And remember that, like, we're here for a reason and great things get created in times of adversity. And this may be your first experience with adversity. It may not be. And you may have dealt with adversity and marginalization your whole life. But in this instance, this is really about like staying motivated. Focus on times that have been difficult before and see what came out of those times. I mean, we maybe are going through one of the most challenging periods in recent history, but there's certainly been more challenging periods in humanity because we had less tools and less connectivity. Now, I mean, we're wired for sound. So the idea of being able to sort of vibrate at a higher frequency, even if that's all you decide that you want to do, is just try and have a good day every day and try and impact, on a global scale. Great. Listen to a song you like. Read some books you like. Book time with your friends. That's my second thing. See your friends during the day. Have lunch together. Connect at night. Do stuff. Whether you have the energy to get together or not, do like a Google Hangout. Talk to each other. I find over the last 3 months, half of the reason that I'm able to like get up every day and do what I do is because of the people in my life and the people around me who are like, yeah, do it. And being able to support each other. And that is so important right now. And if it's your friends, great. If it's your family, great. Whoever brings you joy, those are the people that you need to be booking time with and seeing. The other thing that I'd recommend doing is think about the past. Think about your history. Think about how you got here. Think about how many decisions had to be made to even have you be on the planet right now. And take some ownership for how many people had to live through crazy stuff to just be here. Even if those people were just good at hiding, that's okay. You're here for a reason. Like, own that. Figure that out. I'm sitting here and that chest behind me was brought over by my family when they came to Canada, and it is sitting here because it's a reminder to me that they came over here with just that. And all the things that happened in my life and all the things that I've been through, and I mean, they were all, relate to decisions that they made. And I wouldn't be here without all those decisions. So that's something that I find really powers me up and fuels me and makes me, accountable on a daily basis to trying to just do the best I can because they did. So there's that. I didn't say these were going to be small things. And then the other thing that I've been doing is listening and learning, and I like space. The more I learn about the vastness of the universe, the better I feel about just being on the planet, because this whole thing's a crapshoot anyway. So for me, when things feel like they're really difficult or challenging with human beings and what we've created on this planet, I look outside and I go, what are the possibilities? And is there real intelligent life out there? And what would that look like? Because to me, I think that also, and it might sound crazy, all of this might sound crazy, and that's okay. You don't have to watch it. You can turn it off. But the idea that, we're all able to sort of create and manifest a destiny for ourselves, and we've manifested the book of Revelation right now. I mean, it is yucky. But I think just as powerful, if not more powerful, is the idea that we can pretty much create whatever we want in this life. And thinking about what's out there in terms of intelligent life is pretty exciting because it, I think, sets a bar for, who do we wish we were? And after so many years on this planet and evolving as a human species, how could we have done better? And I think that in and of itself is enough to chew on rather than sitting here and being anxious about the next thing that's going to happen. For me, I'm trying to focus on all the things that I feel like I need to accomplish, all the people I can try to have an impact on, and, what do I actually want for humanity? What would I like the future to be if we could choose one, and if we could, instantly snap out of this cycle that we're in? That's my offering to you today. I hope you liked it. Straight from the heart, always. And we're gonna get through this. I feel we are. I think we are. And if we're not, I'm going to have a hell of a time while we're doing this. But I really feel hopeful. I feel that we have the capacity to really fix this. But it's going to take all of us, and it's going to take everybody getting real honest about what it is you want to do on this planet. And if you're not doing it, I think you better start. Have a great day. Bye.